Well, all right, we're back live finally. Had some internet issues. We had a storm come through, knock out some internet up in the mountains. So you know how that goes. We're not in a big metropolis, so we don't have as fast a response time on getting our stuff back up. But no worries, because we like collecting dividends, and if we sell something, it's just the cherry on top. So let's see, what are we looking at here? We had a pretty good day so far. Looks like we've had, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 sells and 3 longs so far. And we just had an alert come up just before I came on live. Let's take a look. I need to check and see if it's actually on the scan before we go too far. Hadn't seen this one in a while. I've seen it before, but no, it's actually on the scan, so we're going to take a look at it so you'll be able to see what we do with it. But BXP, I don't remember what it is, but it doesn't matter. Boston Properties. All right, so we had a pullback. That's our normal mode of operation. So we need to get our max shares on here first. So we know what we're dealing with, and then we know that this one moves, well, it's got a dividend of $3.92, so that's a good thing. But we're going to trail this. We're only buying one share. It's a dangerous one from that standpoint. I shouldn't say dangerous, it's just, it's a little bit higher risk than we want to take, so we only take one. We're looking to make $3.92 out of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to trail it by $3.62. We need to find out where that bottom is and adjust it. So if we got a close of, or a low of 105.36, plus 362, so 108.98. So I need to bring it down another 50 some odd cents. So we're going to bring it down to, let's say we're at 312. That should get us in the ballpark. Let's see, 312. What did I say that was? 108.98. We need to come down a little further. 108, and go back up to 8, and we're on the money. This is just the way I do it. There ain't nothing special about it. It's not going to guarantee you a profit or anything like that. It's just something I've done over the years when I do trailings. I'm a little ACD when it comes to that kind of stuff. But anyways, let's go down through. We had a pretty big gain on Med. We've been following that one for a long time. Let's see where it's at. It should be up here somewhere. Well, if we're on the right account, it would make sense. Yeah, there we go. There's Med right there. So it jumped up big, and somebody had questioned, like, why wouldn't I carry some more shares? Well, this is what happens when you get these big pushes, right? You get a lot of selling. So you don't know where, Harmony is in that stock. It could push higher. We don't know, but I'd just rather pull it off and not have an extra position open. It doesn't make any sense. Something, hey, it might go to 300. Who knows? But, if it comes up on the scan next week, we can always get back in. The whole idea is, if you think, well, what's the point in getting back in? Well, if I sold 4 shares or 3 or 2, I don't even remember what it was. Let's see down here. We can go back and look. Doesn't matter. If it was 1 for 1, maybe I see your point. But if I had 2 shares in here, came back down, we hit it on the 50%, came back, and we're out, then I want to buy 1 share if it's up higher. And if it goes higher, great, because that's our point. That's what we're trying to do, is make profit on the move up. We're not trying to make a profit on the move down. That would be shorting. Okay. What's another one? PCI. We did this on multiple accounts. Let's see where they're at. There's PCI. So we need to get rid of these, so they're no longer in play. and that's the CEF. It's probably coming up due. The people are attracted to these, right? Because they pay such high dividends. Let's go over here to PCI. You can see it's still at 9%. Like last week it was probably 10, the week before it was at 11. As the price keeps rising, your percentage gain goes down. But what you're looking at here is the dividend amount is 209 per year per share, or 17 cents per share per month. So not too bad, and people are loading up on it. It's understandable. It's a good percentage rate. You can't get but what, 0.5% in the bank. Okay, so but we're always looking to take money off the table. Those people are making deposits. We're making withdrawals. Right, so we're trying to be ahead of the flock, as it were. You know, the people that are coming in. You can't wrong them for trying to get in and make money on the dividends. We're doing the same thing. This one here, PKO, it's going to follow pretty much the same route unless the market turns around and comes down. But then we have a plan for that. So we'll go over here to the Mosaic and just see what's left. Like, that's a big move. 26. I think we made what, $29 on a two lot. You know, people complain all the time, oh, you can't make any money that way. It's like, okay, well, that's how many years worth of dividends, if I only had 2, did that just pay me? It's about, what, 8 years. It's just a different way of looking at things. So AJG, maybe it closes today, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe it comes down. Maybe it never goes any higher. We're not concerned about what it's, you know, doing. We just have it's a fact we're selling it at 147.65. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, we have a plan in place. How many days in a row is that? It looks like 8 weeks in a row, or 7 weeks in a row up. So what's going to stop it? Who knows? You can't sit there and guess. Nobody knows where it's going. Put your, you know, say, hey, this is what I want to sell it for, and make sure that it's not, you know, if you're buying it at 79.68 right now, you know, don't be trying to target twice the amount. You'll be waiting a long time. I'm not saying it can't happen, but probabilities are not in your favor. Yeah, so these are all cells here. You can see they're zeroed at. WBS, we're just checking to see. I didn't have access to my online stuff, and it's hard to look at all these accounts online. I basically just took the day off yesterday and played around with cryptos. I was able to, you know, do a Wi-Fi hotspot and be able to play around with cryptos. Making money on cryptos, it's crazy. That sucker is so volatile. If you're not playing it, you just play it small. Man, you can make 50 bucks here, 50 bucks there. I mean, I think I cleared like $700 since Monday. But you know, your bread and butter, money that's just going to keep coming in, is through your dividend paying stocks. Here's another one that sold. Seems like we had a lot on one single account, and the others had a couple. There's TLT. That's a bond on the NASDAQ. I keep forgetting if it's 10-year or 20-year. 20-year Treasury bond. So who knows where that goes. But we're ready to buy some more up until we hit the max shares. MMD, another CEF. Looks like people are buying into it. Everybody's looking for the highest yields right now. It's important to remember that. So you don't want to, you know, be on that wagon and be buying and not have a plan, or buying too much on the size of your portfolio. A lot of people are dumping a lot of cash in it. That's why it's starting to move. You know, put $50,000, $60,000 in one, and sure, yeah, you're going to make good money in dividends if you sit on it. But are you going to cash it out, or are you going to be one of these hoodlers? You know, 10%. You still got to wait the year to get it, right? If it goes up the amount of the dividend amount, why not cash it out? Take your dividend for the year, move on to something else. This way you don't take losses. You're not guessing. You have a plan. You have a target. Just remember, selling a can of beans. If you buy it for 50 cents, try to sell it for 60 is a lot easier than trying to sell it for $1. That's why Walmart puts their stuff on What the heck? Keep looking at this one. I swear I have put this on here. Oh, HRZN. I swear I put my lines on here. These aren't anything special. Yeah, I know it says Fibonacci, but it's just a tool. It doesn't guarantee us anything. I'm just using our mean or our average cost as our upper limit, and the lower one on the chart, I'm using that to get our 50% retracement or where we're going to buy again. Let's get this out of the way a little bit. It looks good. Let's go back to Mosaic, HRZN. There we go. And we got IDCC coming down. Another one that sold, PCI. Well, we looked at that earlier. BGI, BPT. Yeah. It's funny how the afternoons slow down. It was pretty busy all day. Why is this not got the lines on it? I swear either my computer's doing it to me or I'm losing my mind. Where's the chart? CCD. Just easier to do it on this than the other one. Maybe that's the problem. Oh, I know. If the computers go down, the network goes down, it doesn't remember the stuff on your computer. That's why it didn't get on there, because I put these on yesterday. The alerts stay though. See there, 2809, because that automatically gets pushed. But until you actually close your program or your platform, it won't remember that stuff. So if we go down through and you see a few missing, it's not from neglect. I can blame it on the internet not being up. But let's see, CCD, okay. There's another one. You can see it's already got that in. I'm not going to worry about it. There's a buy limit in down below it. Actually, probably, let's just take that off because it's so far away. It's just holding up money. If it comes back down, we'll figure it out then. OCLS or LC, BGH. Figured that one would have closed today, but it's such a slow mover. Look, it's not even moved a buck in 1, 2, 3 months. That shows you how slow or the low volatility that's involved with CEFs. They're safe in my opinion because they're constant pairs. So once you get up to those max shares, when it makes a move, you cash it. Otherwise, you just sit on it. I'm not afraid of pulling in 9, 10, 11, 12%. If the market comes down and max shares go up, then you can get max shares going up when the market's going up. You can have it when it's sitting still. There's a lot of variables that go into it, so just don't second guess my algorithm. There's quite a bit that goes into it. But let's see, ARR, IVH, another CEF. Looks like it dropped about a half cent, or half of a cent, which is no big deal. That's why it's still rising. Everybody's looking at the percentage. Notice how the charts can fool you. Some people pick up on it, others don't. The charts are just there. It's just because it's there. If I can look at just the numbers and make decisions off of that. Visually, it's just a little easier on the eyes. Your brain doesn't have to work as hard. But don't let the charts fool you. It doesn't mean anything that chart shows $7 as the high and the low like 580. It means nothing. It's just numbers. What the price is what it is. What you want to profit off of it, that's up to you. Don't let the charts dictate to you. They fool you. Just look at it as somebody else's idea. That's what a chart is. In reality, it's just price movement of everybody's thoughts of what it should be. Price is a funny thing, but it can change at any time. It can drop. It can just make charts look weird. But indicators are just If you got something that doesn't matter and you're adding indicators to it, then what's the point? Some people, swear up and down that they believe so much in their indicators, and I guess some people make money off it. I was just never able to make anything work. It just, I don't know. It was kind of like looking backwards type, information. When I look forward, I'm saying, hey, this is what I want. Yeah. So we've got quite a few CEFs left. I really don't like seeing the CEFs sell out as quick because they do pay such good dividends, but they'll always be on the scan next week. You got to wait 5-6 days, and then you can, if they come up on the scan, you can add more to your portfolio. Could be that PCI comes up on the scan for next week. We buy it again. We go through the same thing. If it keeps going higher, we're just going to cash it out at that same amount, that dividend amount above it. But if you're not taking money out of the market, and you ain't making nothing, I don't care what anybody tells you. Until you realize it, you ain't earning anything. You can tell me till you're blue in the face that you're making money, but you ain't made shit until you sell it. All the people that want you to hold, they want the price to go higher because that's what causes the price to go higher is people holding. If you got people selling, it goes up and down. Supply and demand. So if you can get rid of the supply, what happens to the price? It goes higher, right? People like Buffett understand this. That's why he says, buy and hold, buy and hold. I need my shit to move so I can make some money. Why? Because he's going to sell. You might not know it. He's telling you one thing, and then you can look at those online SEC reports and say, oh yeah, well, he sold 30 days ago. Well, wasn't that about the time that he was telling everybody to hold? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe his strategy is a year out from now. He wants to see how high he knows he can pump something for a year and then go, well, we had changed of thought. He stopped talking about it. Next thing, he's out. And who's all holding the bag? Everybody at the top. That price just, crumbles. And he's already made his money. Or he's selling on the way up because he's not just selling in one day. It takes him months to get rid of stuff. Let's take a look at that other account. Well, let's see what we've done so far today. Okay, so 0 dividends came in off of any of these 3 accounts. So we've made 102.24 total so far this week, or since the start of the month, 408.51. And you can see the dividends and the profit. So normally what happens, you'll see that the profit sometime after the first week starts to overtake the dividends. And the dividends stay pretty consistent if you look, and you'll be able to see. So we had 687 and 670. So a little bit shy, but then it comes down to days too, because I don't know how we ended up with a couple extra days in there, but it doesn't really affect the numbers that much. But that's what you're looking to do. It's just consistently bring money into your account. That's how you're going to grow it. And that, you can sit and make your 10% and not have any more occurrences. You have a CEF that's paying you once a month. For 12 months, you have 12 occurrences. That's it. You've bought the one stock, you have 12 occurrences. Well, if you look at this, right, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 occurrences since the 29th just on one account. Okay? Those are just sells. You can, if you want to add the buys in there too, but we're just using the sells. So 14 sells. That's more. That's basically your 14 accounts buying one stock. Now, sure, you can say the dividend amount will be higher, but you can't guarantee that those things are going to go up. These are sales. Remember, this is not dividend payments. This is a full year's dividend amount for the amount of shares. So you had two shares, divide 2 into 386. That's usually what your dividend amount for the year is, right? 9 divided into 19. Just go look PCI up. Look, I'll go to PCI. It's $2, right? So $2 times 9 is 18. Go back to the trade chart, 19.15. Now we always fudge a little bit into the upside, so we always come out ahead. We know what we're profiting. In this case, it was 9%. 9% on what we had invested on 9 shares. 9 shares by 23 is about $200, right? You start thinking this way, you'll start making more money. If you want to do the old way of thing, buy and hold and just collect that dividend, or take your risk and go into leverage money. Not saying you can't make money there, disclaimer, because I know people make money trading options, but it's a hard road to go. It takes a lot of time, which a lot of folks don't have. If you're sitting at home, oh, can you believe that? I bet you came within a penny, 56, so 9 cents. A lot of people don't want to sit around all day looking at a screen. I sure as hell don't. I've been doing this for 27 years. I know that once I'm done with my orders, I'm out. I just kind of breeze around on here just to show what you can do and just try to keep, repeating myself over and over. And the people that start to pick it up start to realize it's like, hey, there's money in this. And it's like, yeah, there's money in it because all you have to do is play by the rules. Now, a book should be coming out in a couple weeks, an ebook. We don't know what we're going to price it at yet. It's probably going to be pretty low because we want all you young investors and old, doesn't matter. If you like this system, the only thing we're going to charge for is a scan. If you want, you can do your own. And we're not telling people what to buy. We just put out a scan each week. Everybody that uses a scan likes it, loves it. I haven't heard any complaints because it makes money. All right? And it's not the scan itself that makes money. It's the money management tools that we use. And you can see it on a day-to-day basis. Sure, we're in a really good uptrending market, so we're making money. It's what happens when this market comes down. These same tools are going to apply. We're not going to lose any money. Those are our rules. FANG made $1 on that. It was some I don't know if I did something different or whatever. I probably wasn't paying attention because I know it's more than 83 cents. I probably just put in the $1.60 and didn't put in the extra dollar, and it took it away. Either way, still made money, didn't lose anything. It wasn't a wasted trade in my book. It was just, you do that 1,000 times, you still make money, right? The thing is, I get people asking me, say, well, how are you ever going to make any money doing this? And I was like, you realize I haven't taken a loss in 334 days now? Okay? I'm not tooting my own horn. I've been doing this a long time. I'm just showing you it's possible. You say, well, when this market comes down, you're going to be left holding all of these. And I said, have you looked at the size of my positions? Okay? And do you know how much I'm making per month? On average, each account is about 1.2 to 1.6% per month. That's of the entire size of each account. Once you understand that, what that number actually comes to, the smallest account we have is on track to earn, this one right here, is on track to earn 20%, 19.96. I still haven't been able to get that video together, but I will put that one out. And pretty eye-opening when you understand the patience involved and what you need to do. Hey, we don't know how long this bull market's going to go for. And but the thing is, you need to know what to do when it ends. You can't get scared and be dumping everything, because that's where you're going to lose your money. And that's their number one rule. Don't lose money. So when you invest in one of these products, it's for life. Okay. See, when I bought XLE, what was it, last week or the week before? I meant to, when I can't remember how many shares it was, maybe one or two, maybe it was 3 shares. I bought 3 shares. I put $150 into XLE. I'm buying it for life. Okay. The only thing that can happen is it either goes out of business or it pays me dividends every year, or when it makes the full year dividend move, right, which would be 224, 48, and whatever the price was back when I bought it. Once it actually moves that and I collect that 1 year's dividends, I'm at. That was a 4.3% gain. It's simple. Let's take a look at this other account. Coming down to about 4 minutes left. I don't think we're going to see too much more movement. It was a positive day, not, blockbuster or whatever. Let's see what look, it's a flat day by market standards. So if you follow the market numbers, you're fooling yourself. Don't listen to that stuff. The money is made away from the market. The big guys that are playing, they're using leverage, they're using other people's money, and they're making a killing off of people that aren't paying attention. Let's see, Citigroup. Banks are just kind of weird. I mean, I don't favor any one stock. I like anything that pays me a dividend that shows up on my scan. I worked a long time on that, and it's a culmination of a bunch of things. But all I know is that I will take a dividend-paying stock over a growth stock any day of the week, because no one knows. Everybody that's signing up for these IPOs, a lot of hype on those. Everybody's lost money on IPOs, except for the people that are shorting them. Because what they've done is they're overpricing them, stick them in the market, and everybody's like, what the hell? It drops like a rock. What was Coinbase? Let's see what that is. Yeah, okay. So it got up to 430. Now it's at 273. Doesn't pay dividends, so it's not going to show up on our scan. But that's besides the point. Who got in here? Who got in here, here, going long? And then they're just eating people alive. And, a lot of people are playing this on options. If you looked at the actual, well, the volume's up here somewhere, 4.93 million shares. Come on, there's some institutions playing that game. So a lot of people were probably playing options. I don't know what the options market looked like. Don't care to look at it. I can play options, but in these small accounts, I wouldn't even dare to do an option in here because it uses up too much of your account size. Like if you're buying, remember, one contract is equal to 100 shares. So you're buying $30, it's 3,000. I don't want to be stuck with a 3,000, 10% of my account hanging out there in the wind, not making anything. I'd rather, take the sure thing, get the dividends, move on to the next one. This takes a little bit of time when you have a smaller account. You just have to realize that the snowballing effect, just remember, 20% it only takes you 3 years plus a little to double your money. If you understand those metrics, 10 years, 10% takes you 7 years to double your money. And you can break it down however you want. But ideally, if you can get to close to that 20%, if you have 10,000 now, in 3 years, you'll have 20. That's not adding any money to the market. That's just you trading it a little bit, sticking to some rules, no FOMO, and, play the game. If you're young, you're going to be all gung-ho. It's like, oh, shit, now I want to make $1 million. I'm going to throw it all into, well, Warren Buffett didn't make his money that way. He traded it smart. He collected dividends. He waited for the opportunities. You buy on the pullbacks. You get it at a better deal, and you take profit. Now, I don't know how much profit, Buffett and some of the other gurus that tell you to hold. How else are they going to make the money? They have to make it off of dividends. Well, if Coke pays you, let's say 3%, I don't care how many shares he has, that's not going to equal 20% gain. It's 3%. You know, he may be including the move on the price, but what did he actually take home? He took home 3%. He didn't take home 20%. His market gain might have been 20%, but he took home 3%. You have to understand the little intricacies of the markets and how they bullshit around the corners. If he actually made 20%, let's just say that's all he owned was Coke, and he made 20%. The only way he could have made 20% is he was selling some of it. That's the only way. Unless he was, lending shares to somebody and getting paid interest off of that, but highly unlikely. But yeah, that's it for today. What else have we got in here? Oh yeah, keep an eye on the Bitcoin and the I think it's 4 o'clock, and we're still going higher. I've got which one is it? I think Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin. Ooh, shit, Litecoin's still going higher. Yeah, I've got a position to close out. I've got 1/2 of a Litecoin left to close at 373. It got as high as 359. It's hovering up there right now. Bitcoin. I got I've got one buy in at 56,557. I'm working with a 10% scale. I'm sorry, a 1% scale, not 10%, 1%. I already made my money. I'm playing around with earnings that I've made off of Bitcoin. I've been around since 2013. I protect my capital, but I do agree that you have to take profit. You guys like Saylor and these guys that are telling everybody, oh, don't worry about it. Just buy and hold it. He's one of these guys that holds 90,000 Bitcoin, right? He's going to sell at some point. How else is he going to make any money? I know what they tell you. Oh, you don't understand. You have to hold. You have to hold. And it's like, well, you hold all you want. I said, I have enough to hold. If I just hold one of what I have and Bitcoin goes to 1 million, I'm still a millionaire. Don't get greedy. If you have half a Bitcoin, if you have a quarter of a Bitcoin, if it goes to 1 million, you're still a quarter $250,000. You don't have to have. Remember, it goes to 8 decimal places. That's the key. But just looking at people emailing me here. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for today. If you have any questions, drop me a line, T1ReconRider@gmail.com, or we'll see you in the morning.